think. All right, we're live now. See if we get a couple people listening here, but pull up the bracket and not a whole lot of upsets on this deal. Did you guys vote on the bracket?
No, I should have, but I didn't.
I'll be honest, I didn't.
It's all right. We had quite a few people vote, so yeah. Yeah, we got.
Hey, I know this isn't like a shit on Sam deal or anything, but if he just walks around his house without pants on all day and gets paid for it, I think I need to sign up with him.
Yeah, I believe that. Sam has, I don't know what he does, but I know he does like some sort of online marketing and shit, but I don't understand exactly what he does. But it sounds like a good gig, really.
Must be all right.
Anyhow,
fishing all the time.
Oh, I know it. And then when he works, yeah, he just has to be clothed from the neck up, I think. And then he's good.
I mean, I could do that too, but it'd be uncomfortable all day.
I'd be a cold motherfucker up there in Nebraska.
Well, today it was dang nice. I left the barn in just a sweatshirt and a vest, and by 9 o'clock I was sweating.
Yeah. All right, well, we got some people watching. So what's up, fellas, ladies, whoever's there? Welcome back to the Bull Session. We got Thad rejoining us, Kayne and Dakota Robinson. Thad's in Alabama, Dakota's in New Mexico, Kayne's in Nebraska. We got Cowboys from all over the country tonight. So we're gonna recap the Cut the Cards Invitational first round. Voting just ended, and then we're gonna tell some cowboy shit. So, welcome back, fellas. How's it going?
Shoot, can't complain. Wouldn't do me any good if I did.
Nobody listens, right?
Nobody listens, right? Yeah.
Well, we got 10 people listening, so it's air your grievances, fellas.
Well, whatever suits you tickles you plumb to death.
Perfect. Well, here we go with the first round of the Cut the Cards Invitational. We got the Cowboys 74-26 over the Hateful Eight. That one should have happened. Should have been more of a blowout, but still pretty respectable. 8 seconds. 73-27 over the Rounders. That's so we got the Cowboys in 8 seconds coming up in the next round. That'll be a pretty good matchup.
That'd be a tough
Maverick. Yeah. Maverick 70-30 over Django Unchained. And McClintock over 310 to Yuma 65-35. So we got Maverick McClintock second round. McClintock ought to take that one hands down. Good, the Bad, and the Ugly 87-13 over Angel and the Bad Man. They'll be taking on Hang 'em High, who beat the Horse Whisperer 76-24. So Good, the Bad, and the Ugly and Hang 'em High, two Clint Eastwoods face tonight.
That'd be good to see who wins that one, man.
Yeah. I think Good, the Bad, and the Ugly will probably take that one, but that's a close matchup.
It ought to.
Yeah, it should. Then we got Monty Walsh, 86-14 over Jonah Hex. Taking on Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. 52-48 over the Cowboy Way. That was a close matchup, but I think that I'd like to see Cowboy Way move on, but that's a tough one against Butch Cassidy.
Damn, if only Pepper could vote. Matt,
If
I would
only.
have. Matt, I would have been voting, but I was too busy playing damn Big Chief to do it.
Big Chief. Yeah, I bet you were. I believe that 100%. You old dog, you. And then my dark horse got utterly destroyed. Tombstone, 100% over. Fievel goes west. Rest in peace, Fievel.
What?
Rest in peace.
Couldn't even get a
Somewhere
single
out
vote
there.
for Fievel.
Not even one vote. I didn't even vote for Fievel, so that was my pick.
It was the cat's fault.
That's right. Fucking cats. I hate cats.
Me too.
So Tombstone will move on to take on the Shootist, who 91-9 over the Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shootist is a good movie. The new Magnificent Seven took down Fistful of Dollars, 57-43. That is a damn travesty.
What?
Travesty. Yeah.
People. How many's watching on Facebook right now?
You got a bunch
Yeah.
of young kids voting, don't you?
We got 11 people and they all suck.
Some
They
people
all
that
suck.
ain't never, that didn't grow up watching the old westerns.
Yeah, whoever voted for the new Magnificent Seven over
All right.
Fistful of Dollars.
Since we're bringing that up, the new westerns versus the old westerns, I want to go all the way back to 8 Seconds beating out the Rounders. That is bullshit. That is a rodeo movie versus a cowboy movie. This is about cowboy movies. The Rounders is awesome. It's about making a living riding bucking horses. Like, what's more cowboy than that? And
Nothing.
you get thrown together against, don't get me wrong. I love 8 Seconds. Great movie.
Yep.
Is it a cowboy movie? That's questionable. If you're going to say 8 Seconds is a cowboy movie, then you could say Urban Cowboy is a rodeo movie. Same difference.
Yeah.
It's a valid point. It's a valid point. And
put my foot out there and say it is bullshit that 8 Seconds beat out the Rounders, and now I'll let it go.
I think you're
I
right.
agree with you, Dakota. I'll agree with you on that.
I think you're right. I love 8 Seconds. Great movie. But also every fucking gunsel out there, Robbie,
Exactly.
loves 8 Seconds.
And they
Robbie's
can quote
a
it line for
douche.
line. Line for
Yeah.
line.
Yeah. It's a great movie. It deserved to make the bracket because it's a modern Western. But yeah, Over the Rounders, come on.
Yeah.
That was kind of a travesty. But anyway, so new Magnificent Seven. I haven't seen it, so I don't even know if it's a good movie or not.
So
I don't
stupid.
know.
So stupid.
But Fistful of Dollars, come on. That is classic spaghetti Western, Clint Eastwood. Get the fuck out of here. But it's
Right,
going
so-
down next round because it's taking on Quigley Down Under, which beat Little Big Man 91-9. Quigley's taking that matchup. Chris Pratt, great actor. I love him. But you're going down against Tom fucking Selleck.
Amen.
The mustache legend.
Before we go any farther, let's talk about this adding the new and the old True Grit. I'm not okay with that. The new True Grit is an okay movie, but you cannot remake a John Wayne movie and expect it to be good. Cannot do it.
Well, I think it's good. It's not.
That'd be like trying to remake the Cowboys nowadays and making it good. It
Well,
ain't
see,
gonna
there's a
happen.
rumor.
That rumor where
Tommy
who was
Lee
Tommy Lee
Jones. I
he
would
was
watch
going to
that.
be, in the Cowboys, and I mean, it freaking burned down the internet. People were calling it, a wreck before it even gets started, and this and that. They failed to read that the article was written like 7 years ago, so obviously it's not going to happen. But like, same concept.
We got a bunch of people agreeing with us on 8 Seconds beating the Rounders. A lot of people. Sean Rice, fuck you. You do suck.
I'll just keep.
So can we-
follow along?
If we got people agreeing now, can we reverse that?
Maybe. I don't know. That's what happens when you don't vote. This is why democracy sucks.
We can just call it a
Because
grievance.
the people that have good opinions don't vote, and the people that have shitty opinions vote for everything.
We'll just call it a grievance and say the Rounders win.
I'll be honest. As much as I like to complain, I really can't. I can say my piece about it, but I can't complain because I didn't vote. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let it out. What's your opinion?
Oh, I mean, just about how the Rounders should have like trumped that. Didn't mean to bring.
I thought you were about to.
But speaking of the True Grits, if you really want to voice your opinion, True Grit, the 1969, the True Grit, John Wayne beats out Wild Wild West 87-13, and True Grit, the new one with Jeff Bridges, beat out High Low Country 64-36. High Low Country should have won that. I like the new True Grit. I really do.
I'm not saying it's a bad movie, but you can't remake it's a movie and expect it to be as good or better.
Yeah, it's a good movie, and Jeff Bridges. That's why I like it so much, because it's the dude. But you can't compete with John Wayne. But they're facing off in round 2. True Grit 1969 versus True Grit 2010, and there we go. That's the deciding round. Round 2. Who's gonna take it? My vote's on John Wayne all day long.
You bet.
Jeff Bridges, but
you bet.
John Wayne. Yeah. All right. So then we got Dances with Wolves takes down the Three Amigos 78-22. Rest in peace, Chevy Chase. And it is going to take on the Man from Snowy River, who beat out No Country for Old Men 62-38. So Dances with Wolves versus the Man from Snowy River.
I thought that was going to be a lot closer.
Yeah. I did too. I like Man from Snowy River, but No Country for Old Men is so good. That's a good freaking movie. Tommy Lee Jones is not faring too well in this contest. Clint Eastwood and John Wayne are doing just fine. Tom Selleck's doing just fine, but Tommy Lee Jones he's not doing so well. Then we got the Outlaw Josie Wales beats Once Upon a Time in the West 100-0. And that's going to take on Pale Rider, who beat out for a few dollars more, 64-36. That's a pretty good matchup too. Outlaw Josie Wales versus Pale Rider.
I think Clint Eastwood should endorse your page because of all this.
Right?
I think so.
Send him a link.
We got a bunch of people having beers watching us. So cheers, everybody. What's everybody drinking? Thad's making coffee. And McAllen. Bam.
I'm going to tell you guys this right now. So Dr. Pepper makes a cream soda. And if you mix it with Pendleton, it's downright amazing.
All right. No bullshit. So if you find the Dr. Pepper that's actually made with real sugar, like the old Dublin Dr. Peppers, you mix that with Pendleton, damn it. Like, it is good. And that's
that is a Texas cowboy drink all the way. Dr. Pepper and Pendleton.
Oh, yeah.
And I've got Longboard Lager. It was on sale. It's pretty damn good.
It was on sale.
It was on sale, and it's pretty damn good. Key Light Smoothies from Justin Clapp. Cheers, buddy. And,
hey, what bracket was the Man That Shot Liberty Valance in?
That was in Sam's bracket. We're coming up to that. So what do we end up? We ended up Outlaw Josie Wales moves on to take on the Pale Rider. Upset here though. Missouri Breaks gets upset 70-30 by Fort Apache. That is an old school John Wayne movie, and apparently it still holds up. So,
well, we've got some old school voters still. Then
that's true. And
The old people need
which
to get out and vote, upset the young crowd.
yeah. That surprised me that Missouri Breaks got upset that or got beat that bad. Missouri Breaks is a damn good movie.
Right?
70-30, but hey, you know, it's John Wayne. Apparently people love John Wayne. So there we go. High Plains Drifter gets beat by Hondo 57-43. So we got Fort Apache taking on Hondo. The next
Hondo,
round.
man.
I think so.
Get off team.
Next matchup, we got Unforgiven taking down Rio Grande 71-29. And All the Pretty Horses takes down Hell or High Water 59-41. So Unforgiven takes on All the Pretty Horses. That'll
be a close one, I think.
Powerhouses. That's
Can you ride?
That's a powerhouse.
I was riding when I fell off.
That is a powerhouse matchup right there. Rio Bravo takes down Cimarron 81-19.
Of course.
All right, I'm gonna go out here and say this right now. Rio Bravo is my absolute favorite movie ever.
Dude,
Rio Bravo
you
is
got
a good
John
one.
Wayne, Dean Martin,
Ricky
who's
Nelson.
the third guy. It doesn't matter. He's Colorado. I mean, shooting shit.
bet.
Yeah.
If you had to pick your classic Western, it would be really hard to beat Bravo. It's got everything besides running and roping a cow or riding a bronc. I mean, it's there. And
Yeah.
pretty good looking old gal.
I'm telling you, man, the man that shot Liberty Valance is my all-time favorite.
I'm not saying that ain't a good movie, but Rio Bravo beats it hands down.
Okay.
I love Rio Bravo. I like Liberty Valance. The Cowboys is my all-time favorite. It's got everything you could ever want in any Western. You've got the coming of age story. You've got John Wayne. You got Cattle Drive. You got Brandon. You've got the Outlaws. You got everything.
It was made back in the day before kids were protected by child labor laws, and you could actually stick them on a bronc and film it.
I know. It was awesome. And they did a pretty goddamn good job, really.
Yeah.
They really did all right.
All right, can we come into agreement that you could actually split two genres between Western movies and cowboy movies?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
you could
Yeah.
split,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Yeah, you definitely could.
All
Yeah,
right.
there's a big variance in the Western genre, just like there is in like the country and Western genre. There's Western cowboy music, and then there's country music. Then you got, there's so many subgenres within it that
Right.
for sure. But we just went with the overall Western, and so Rio Bravo moves on. They're taking on Young Guns, who beat out Jeremiah Johnson 55-45. Rio Bravo will take that one handily.
Yeah.
Hey, look, so I know there's a funny meme or whatever that says I hollered regulators at work and nobody said anything, so I quit.
Mm.
No joke, man. I said that one time, and only one guy laughed. And I was
Really?
like, y'all are sheltered.
Shit.
If y'all lived anywhere in Lincoln County, you get so tired of all the Billy the Kid bullshit. I mean, it's everywhere. Oh, you think he's still alive?
Oh shit!
might be.
can He's out there with Tupac and Elvis.
That's right.
Then we got
Paradise.
Yeah. We got Sons of Katie Elder taking on Blazing Saddles in the next round. So Sons of Katie Elder took down Million Ways to Die in the West, 100-0. Blazing Saddles over the Virginian, 70-30. That'd be a close matchup. I wonder, does Blazing Saddles make it past Sons of Katie Elder?
No way. No way.
I will call it right now. I'll say 55-45, but Sons of Katie Elder.
I think Sons of Katie Elder takes it.
55-45.
That's probably a pretty good bet. Probably a pretty good bet.
I think you're right, man. I think it's gonna come pretty darn close, but I do think Sons of Katie Elder will pull through.
I like Sons of Katie Elder just fine. It's a great movie. But I'm sticking with my guns. I had Blazing Saddles as a 1 seed. I got overruled. I'm gonna vote Blazing Saddles because it is. There you go. Pendleton, Dr. Pepper. There we are. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna vote Blazing Saddles. Just edges out Sons of Katie Elder. It probably won't, but that's gonna be my vote is Blazing Saddles. This next one was actually a tie, 50-50, Shadow Riders and Shanghai Noon. I decided to cast the deciding vote. I'll give it to Shadow Riders. Shanghai Noon's a hilarious movie, but yeah, you got Shadow Riders is a classic too. Tom Selleck and Sam Elliott. Come on.
Yeah.
The mustache of Westerns.
Yeah, exactly.
The voice of Westerns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Kind of the beat.
So Shadow Riders moves on to take on Silverado, who took down Shane. Silverado over Shane, 73-27. I kind of wanted Shane to move on a little farther than that, but I know I've seen Silverado, but it's been a long time, so I can't recall. But Shane was one of those ones. We watched it in I believe it was like 8th grade English class. One of the best teachers I ever had. He made us watch Shane. We read the book, and so I've always kind of had a soft spot for that movie. But it gets taken down. So we got Silverado taking on Shadow Riders next round. And then the final bracket, we got Open Range over City Slickers, 86-14. Taking on the Alamo, who beat out Conager, 57-43. That was a pretty close matchup.
Open Range will move on.
You think so over the Alamo?
I think so.
Probably so.
I hate to agree, seeing as how I was born where I was, but Open Range will take the Alamo.
Open Range is it's the only. Well, I guess we got 2 Robert Duvall movies in here: True Grit and Open Range. So
you're gonna be like excommunicated from Texas because you said that.
Probably.
Hopefully, nobody from the state will watch.
Cody Willis, damn it, man. Lonesome Dove is not on the list because it's a miniseries and not a movie, and because nothing else would stand a chance. Lonesome Dove would win every time, hands down, running away like Secretariat at the goddamn Belmont. That's why we left it out.
If you put Lonesome Dove in the string, it would be Lonesome Dove and everybody fighting for second. Like that would be the title. So
yeah.
I'm don't get me wrong, by far and above best movie ever. But
I've named the last like 15 horses I've owned after Lonesome Dove characters. I named my son Augustus. I love Lonesome Dove. I've got a Hat Creek Cattle Company sign. As soon as I get my studio set up, my Hat Creek Cattle Company sign will be in full display. I love Lonesome Dove probably more than just about anyone on earth. It's not a fair competition, and it doesn't fit the criteria of a feature-length film. So,
and let's be honest, if anybody voted against them, we would let the Clintons know that they know something.
Yeah, we would tell them that they have information leading to the arrest of Hillary Clinton, and they would be Epstein so fast.
Hey, for $1,000, I'll quit reminding people that Epstein didn't kill himself.
Me too, but it has to be multiple people that agree to it.
Right?
No, there's not enough money in the world for me to stop sharing those memes. Magnificent Seven, the original Magnificent Seven, moves on to the second round. They beat out the Searchers 64-36. That was a tough matchup. I gotta agree with it. Magnificent Seven is not only is it one of the best westerns ever made, but it's one of like widely renowned as one of the best films ever made.
That's a tough one to beat.
Why can't I recall that movie?
Yul Brynner, Magnificent Seven.
Yes. Sorry.
Yeah.
If you heard the music, it would instantly just, oh yeah.
Yeah. And Killing says, speaking of Lonesome Dove, the Murder Hornet meme would be a 1 seed. I agree. I don't know who made that meme, but that was hilarious. Murder Hornets. Hell, I've been bit by bed bugs worse than that down in Saltillo.
Yeah.
Great meme. I don't know who made it, but it was a fucking excellent meme. So Magnificent Seven beats out the Searchers, goes on to take on the man who shot Liberty Valance, who beat out the Wild Bunch 73-27.
Woo!
I thought that'd be closer too.
I did too, but I can't disagree with it. Man who shot Liberty Valance is a great movie. That's a powerhouse matchup. Original Magnificent Seven over the man who shot Liberty Valance. That's
Liberty Valance for sure.
So yeah,
That's
recap.
runaway.
We got the Cowboys taking on 8 Seconds. Cowboys all day. Maverick versus McClintock. McClintock's gonna win that. Good, the Bad, and the Ugly versus Hang 'em High. That'll be interesting to see who wins that. Monty Walsh taking on Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. And this is the Tom Selleck Monty Walsh. Honestly, I didn't even know there was an old Monty Walsh until like the day after we made this bracket, I think. So
there's an old one?
Yeah. With Lee Marvin. So I'm gonna watch it at some point because I love Lee Marvin, but Tom Selleck, man, come on.
The Tom Selleck version's way better.
Yeah, I would
better.
agree. Like,
Tenfold better.
Yeah, it's just better. It's better all the way around. Like,
so Matt, you haven't seen the old one?
No, I haven't, but I caught a lot of shit for not having it on there. And I honestly didn't know it even existed. So my question is, how good can it be if a Western movie connoisseur such as myself didn't know it existed?
Yeah, I didn't either.
So
the new one
I'm not gonna
way better.
I'm not gonna talk shit on it because I haven't seen it. I'm just saying it can't be considered one of the best of all time if I didn't know it existed. So
My prediction is
not gonna talk shit. You're saying.
Yeah. So then we got Tombstone taking on the Shootist. That's an interesting matchup. Tombstone will win that one.
All day.
The Shootist will win. Yeah, for sure.
So
the Tombstone is going to win because of the younger following. Yep.
Yeah,
I think so. It is Shark Week.
I'm gonna vote for the Shootist, and I don't want to because I don't want to see Tombstone go down in the second round because it is a great movie. But yeah,
nothing against Tombstone, but
no. But I think Shootist will.
You can't take anything away from the Shootist.
No,
I agree, man.
No.
It's good. Like Dakota, you keep talking about younger people. How old are you?
I'll be 30 in July.
See, so I'm 27. Is there younger people that watch this?
You know, I feel like in our age bracket, we're right in the middle of like the old people who don't really like do the social media deal and this and that, and the younger generation that thrives on that.
Brett over it.
You know, I mean, lives it and breathes it every day.
Like Robbie.
So, you know, you think about it that way. Okay, who's going to go and put in the time to watch it and vote it? It's probably going to be the younger generation. So
I see what you're saying.
Well, there's also those people like Robbie who they don't value the tradition behind John Wayne and Clint Eastwood. He just likes
Yeah.
the new cinematography and the more advanced acting. Well, whatever. Get the fuck out of here with that.
Where is
Well,
that dude at?
He's probably at home. I don't know. I figured we'd switch it up a little bit.
Yeah, nobody really
I
cares.
mean, you argue between.
That is, I'm proud of you that you're wearing a shirt today, though.
Have I been on here and not had a shirt on?
I've heard a few.
I can't recall one.
You debate between Tombstone and the Shootist, though. I'm not going to say which one I like better because I feel like my argument would be null and void then. But think about how much more of a following Tombstone has in culture. You know, like
yeah. I think Tombstone wins that one.
They can quote it, you know. I mean, it's just that way.
Yeah, I'll vote the Shootist all day long, but I think Tombstone probably wins that matchup. Next, we got the new Magnificent Seven taking on Quigley. Quigley will run away with that one, hands down. And if it don't, I'll just quit this podcast because I don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
We're gonna go on there tomorrow and all the brackets are down. Just
Yeah.
on. What happened?
Just be like, this thing is bullshit. I fucking quit.
Yeah, it's
my
not even
computer-
worth it anymore. It's not worth my time
couch.
anymore.
Man, I don't know.
I'm out.
Exactly. Fuck your couch. I'm out.
Yeah.
And then we got the True Grits going head to head. Jeff Bridges versus John Wayne. John Wayne will run away with that one.
Yeah.
That's going to be like an 80-20.
Yeah,
I
at
agree.
least. At least.
I mean, I know a lot of people that like the new one, but I don't know a single person that would vote for the new one over the old one.
No.
Mm,
Well,
I'm
look
not
back
and
in the
like I
bracket.
said,
How
I'm
many
not
people
taking
have voted
anything away
for?
from the new one, but you cannot remake a John Wayne movie and expect it to win.
no, absolutely
Not going to happen.
Look
agree.
back in the bracket and see how well all the other John Wayne movies have done against everything else. You know, like there's a pattern. You know?
Yeah, I mean, Fort Apache takes down, who was it? It was Missouri Breaks, which is that's a solid movie. Like,
yeah.
That's and Fort Apache beat him handily, 70-30. So yeah,
Fort
I
Apache's
think
not a very well-known movie either.
no,
True.
it's one of John Wayne's pretty early ones.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll tell you one that I thought would have made the bracket somewhere, and I don't think it's on there. She wore a yellow ribbon.
Oh
No, it didn't. It didn't, and I tell you why is because there's just too many good ones out there that you just forget. Like I had to throw the new Magnificent Seven back in because I forgot about it, and so it only made like a 15 seed. But there's just so many good ones. Like it got hard to pick the bracket after a while because there's just I don't know, 64 movies. That's a lot of movies to pick through.
You guys want to talk about sticking something in? I mentioned it, and it still didn't make it. J.W. Coop.
I didn't see that till later. Yeah.
How do you not put that movie in the bracket?
Well,
I forgot about
if
that.
you're gonna do
You
that,
put 8 seconds in, but you didn't put J.W. Coop in.
okay.
I'll give you 3 guesses who picked 8 seconds.
I know it was Robbie. I listened.
But to be fair, if you're gonna run that route, if it's J.W. Coop, where is My Heroes Have Always Been Cowboys?
Amen.
Also, Red-Headed Stranger. That could have been in there too.
Should have.
Yeah. See, there's a lot that got left up that probably should be there, but it's like same way with
You
the
can
March Madness.
replace
There's
the
always
new
a bunch-
Magnificent Seven with J.W. Coop. Replace the new True Grit with My Heroes Have Always Been Cowboys. Replace the Million Ways to Die in the West with there's some of them that should have been replaced with them good.
Oh yeah, well,
good
16
cowboy movies
seeds
that-
strictly throwaway picks is the 16 seeds.
Right.
That's that. There's a ton of movies. Yes, Million Ways in the West, Die in the West is nowhere near a top 64 movie, but just for help.
I got you. That makes
That was
sense.
another
man.
Robbie movie. That was another Robbie movie.
What happened to what was it? The first, was it the first Western? First audio Western?
Oh yeah, the
first
Virginian.
Western, the speaking Western, the Virginian.
Yeah, the Virginian.
Yeah.
It got beat by. I forget who it got beat by.
Yeah, we already said that one.
Historical value.
Yeah, and that was one that got thrown on there just as to pay homage because it paved the way for every other Western. But it got beat by Blazing Saddles.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Okay, so we got Dances with Wolves taking on Sman from Snowy River. Outlaw Josie Wales taking on Pale Rider. Fort Apache versus Hondo. Unforgiven versus All the Pretty Horses. That's a good matchup.
Who would you guys go for there? 'Cause I'm kind of torn right there.
I'm gonna say All the Pretty Horses.
Yeah,
I think I am too. If it was Outlaw Josie Wales or like Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, I'd probably go with Clint Eastwood. On this one, even though Unforgiven is supposed to be like one of John Wayne's best movies, I thought it was really good, but I'd still pick Outlaw Josie Wales or Good, the Bad, and the Ugly over it. Yeah, I got to go with All the Pretty Horses on that one.
Yeah, I mean that's what I would like to go with, but I didn't know if I was being too new.
No, you're right on.
It's a tough one. But I got to go All the Pretty Horses. Then we got Rio Bravo taking on Young Guns.
Rio Bravo, yeah.
The new versus the old.
Yep. Rio Bravo will take that one, I think. It better. We got Sons of Katie Elder taking on Blazing Saddles. Shadow Riders versus Silverado. Open Range versus the Alamo. And the original Magnificent Seven versus the Man Who Shot Liberty Valance.
Okay,
So,
question mark. Is this the new The Alamo or the old The Alamo?
John
It doesn't
Wayne,
matter.
the
You're already
Alamo.
kicked out of Texas. Yeah.
Damn.
The new Alamo was pretty good too, but once again, you're taking on a John Wayne, so you're gonna lose that one.
No.
I do like Billy Bob Thornton in the new Alamo.
That's what I was about to bring up. Like, who would have ever thought Billy Bob Thornton could play Davy freaking Crockett? But there
I
you
know.
go.
Billy Bob ought to be in more westerns. I would watch Billy Bob in a lot of westerns.
He was freaking good.
If Billy Bob could play like Bruce Dern's character in the Cowboys remake,
Holy shit, that would be awesome.
That would be a good one, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
We got some good matchups though. Voting will go live tomorrow at noon Pacific. I'll share a link again. Once we get down to like I think the next round, I'll just start post them as a poll on the Facebook page. It'll be easier that way. But 32 posts, that's too many to make. It gets lost in all the traffic. So we have to go to the webpage to vote on this round, and then we'll start posting it on the Facebook page as a poll. But anyway, go vote. I'm curious to see what everybody else thinks as far as best westerns of all time. I think we got a good bracket. There's always some ones that should have made it that didn't, but I think we got a pretty good bracket anyhow.
Yeah, but I will give it to you, Matt. Like that took a bunch of working to figure out all those fees, man.
That was a pain in the dick. I if I do something like this again, I think I'll pay somebody to set it up for me. I like the arguing about and trying to set it up. But as far as like the technical side, somebody else can do that next time.
Well, and next time you got to make sure that all 4 of your guys got connection so they can vote.
And electricity.
Yeah, that's true.
Or do the draw anyway.
Yeah. Well, the guy Dan, he apparently forgot he was on the show, so he was asleep, and so I threw Jesse in as a last ditch, and then his power cuts out on him halfway through. Not even halfway through.
It's tough living in Montana.
Oh, fucking Montana. I'm surprised they even have power most of the time.
Right.
Oh, well, it's Brandon season there in your country, and Dakota and Kayne. You seen any good wrecks this year? I haven't been to a single Brandon yet, but
that Brandon I went to, the buddy of mine that works for the outfit that put the Brandon on, we had a couple of young kids, one of mine and one from a family that works for that outfit, the guy that runs the yearling deal. And my buddy run in to help them. They was trying to wrestle one and didn't have him down, and they was struggling, and he run in, and about the time he gets him laid over, somebody shouts, "Look out!" And I turned over and looked, and this mama cow plumb runs him over. And there was about 10 people around that calf at that time because everybody kind of congregated in that spot. And as I turned, she's bailing over the top of him, and he's falling up underneath her. Everybody else got out unscathed, and he come out with a big old goose egg on his cheek. And he's sitting on the ground, sitting up, and everybody's like, "Oh, are you all right?" And he's like, "Give me a minute to gather my damn chickens, and I'll be okay. Just shut the hell up."
We were doctoring we got a rough set of Mexican steers here the other day. Like pretty, typically when they ship them up from the border, anything that was pretty shitty doesn't make it past quarantine there at the border. But I don't know if they rushed these through or what, but man, they were tough looking cattle, and we were pulling hard on them. And there is this little brindle cocksucker that just kept, like, he'd get right to the gate, almost step out the gate and then turn back on you. And I was on my little yellow mare, and she was working her ass off, and he just kept just dirty motherfucker. Squeeze between her and the fence, just every trick in the book. And so I slap a loop on him, yank him out, and I go to get my loop off, and he comes back up the rope at me. And he's only like 400 pounds, so kind of olayed him a little bit and kicked him in the gut as he ran by. But run him through the chute, and we've got this high school gal working for us part-time, and he goes and gives him a shot, and she walks across the chute, and she's going to reload the syringe, I think. I let him out, and this sucker takes a step out of the chute, hard left, like right at her, and she's got her back to him, and she's about 6 inches away from a pipe fence. And I was like, "Oh God, oh fuck!" And luckily, he was all bluff. Like, he got right up in her hip pocket and was like waving his head around, but he never did try to run through her. But I was like, she is just gonna eat a 2 3/8, oil filled pipe right in the teeth, and then he's gonna kick her in the back of the head as he jumps over the top of her. I could see it playing out. And luckily, he just, I was like, look out. And it took her about the third time before she finally realized what the hell was going on. And she ran, and he snorted and kind of kicked. Never did get her, but I was scared. I thought that poor gal was going to just have a disfigured face for the rest of her life. Oof.
Yeah.
I know a few gals like that too.
So far this year was I went to a family, Brandon, and you got the old man who's still trying to kind of run the deal, and then the sons, trying to kind of do what they can without pissing dad off, but without naming names. So we get done, Brandon, and they're going to count the calves out, and they're going to count the cows out. So everybody's counting truck, get out the door, and this and that, and the number one study says, "All right, Dad, y'all go ahead and count the calves, and we're going to jump in this next pen and count the cows because we stripped them." And Dad goes, "No, we got to count the calves first. We got to." He goes, "Yeah, y'all are going to count the calves, and we're going to go count the cows." "No, we got to count the cows first." Son number one goes, "Well, fuck, Dad, let's all just hold hands and count the calves together." And he runs over there and grabs son number two's hand, and they skip across the pen and count the calves. And Dad, but it was the funniest shit. Probably another deal was yesterday. So it's kind of a unique deal, I guess, between all the divisions of this ranch. Nobody has a son. It's all daughters. I don't know if there's some in the water or what, but so you got a bunch of girls running all over this place a horseback, which is pretty darn entertaining, but it's also a lot of fun. Nothing against cowgirls, but golly, one of them deals. So we're trying to pin these wild runoff bitches, and this cow's like coming to the pins, and I head her and I turn her. Well, here comes the oldest daughter, and she's on a pretty cowy mare, and this cow is running with this mare, and the cow turns, the mare turns, and the oldest daughter does not turn, just shoo right out the front door. Gone. That was probably the second funniest thing I've seen so far this Brandon season.
Oh, that's awesome.
Matt, I gotta tell you that Tom and Aaron was at that Brandon that I went to.
Oh, no shit.
You bet.
How are they doing?
Tom was getting around pretty decent, and Aaron was roping all right. Tom roped pretty good, but every time he'd miss, he'd make a pretty funny face. It was comical.
I've only talked to him that one time when I had him on the podcast. I need to call them back up and have them back on. But Aaron's a sweetheart of a lady. I like the shit out of her.
We got done Brandon and went to the house to go eat, and my buddy knows them pretty well. And Aaron come walking by, and my buddy TJ says, "Aaron, do you need a drink?" Everybody's drinking beer, and he had whiskey in his house. She goes, "I thought you'd never ask."
That's awesome. She was kind of kind of an old lady in college, not to insult her too much, but she'd already married, had kids, and then came back to college. So I think she was in her 40s when I was up there. So she didn't go out very much, obviously, but she had a good time when she did. No, she has aged very well, but
she looks a hell of a lot younger than old Tom does.
They're I don't know how close in age they are, but yeah, she always had a good old time when somebody did manage to drag her out to the bar. It was always a good time, but I didn't see her out and about a whole lot.
They were riding like good horses, though.
I've heard they do. I've never been around them working cattle or anything, but
I know Tom was helping sort, and Tom didn't let nothing by him. That's for sure.
Yeah. Now, are you riding pins up there? Or are you working on an outside outfit?
Well, I work for an outfit that runs both. We run outside cattle and have a little feed yard. Our deal's kind of different. They've got what we call expansion pins, which is what I ride, and then they've got barn pins, which are all covered, and they've got a bunch of guys that walk them pins.
I see.
So it's probably one of the weirdest deals I've ever been to, but it's all right because I don't have to look at everything.
There you go.
But I don't know. We've got 3 of us that are supposed to be riding pins, and I'm the only one that's actually riding pins right now. One of them isn't very trustworthy. He probably wouldn't know a sick cow from a hole in his ass. And that's the one that I told you about the wreck last time, where he had that horse flop down in the mud on him.
Yeah.
And then the other guy is kind of an older, tends to pull on the dub quite a bit.
Yeah.
And so they've got him kind of backing up them barn walkers, looking at stuff they're not looking at every day, and just trying to make sure that we don't have as many deads as we've been having lately. But and then we run, like today, I didn't get to ride no pins. We went and gathered 2,500 head off of 6 different pastures, brought them in, had to weigh them, and then run them in some pins. And shit, we still didn't get out of there till 6 o'clock, and we started at 6.
Those all yearlings or
they're right about year. I think we averaged just under 900 pounds.
Oh, okay.
So they were kind of like everything the yard has on there, or 90% of what's on the yard is yard owned cattle.
Oh, okay.
So they go out, they have cattle buyers everywhere that go buy stuff for them, and then they just get shipped to us. And then they do a little bit of custom feeding, but not very much.
I see.
We got probably 15, maybe 20 pins of Thiel dairy cattle on us right now. Them first year dairy heifers where they mix them with an Angus bull, so they got that low birth weight.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of ugly shit. And of course, I'm in charge of riding them because the other guy don't know what he's doing. He wants to pull heavy just because they're ugly. But
those Holstein Angus crosses are the worst because they've got it to where they pretty well look like an Angus calf anymore, but they act just like a fucking Holstein. And,
and the other deal on that is I can ride in a pin, and they've still got every ear tag that dairy puts in them. They've got in them, and then we stab another lot tag in. So I can go by and look and say, all right, this calf's 700 pounds and was born on this date, and then look at the one next to him. He was born 5 days later, and he's only 400 pounds.
Yeah.
So it's one of them deals where, you just kind of fighting the average and picking the worst of the worst and trying not to occur a whole bunch of cost to the yard. But
yeah, well, that's kind of where we're at with these Mexican steers. Like this is the worst set I've ever had on, and this is my, I think, third year where we've got quite a few of those Mexican cattle in. But
I was going to ask you about that, Matt. Like, can you? I don't know if you can say it on here or not, but like, what's your death loss on them Mexican cattle you just got in?
We're still under 1% on these, and we finished at, I think last year we were at like 0.8%, which pretty goddamn good. And these were 3 and 4 weights that we got. But I won't be surprised if we were pushing like 5-6% on this one set that we got. Like we mass treated them with Mycotil, and they still look just rough.
Right.
Shit, they look rough. And they just cleared off the moratorium the other day, and we went through, and just right after they fed just chopped hay to them. And anything that didn't go up to the bunk, we just pushed them all out the gate and ran them all through the chute. And they all, I mean, you had snot hanging like that, and they still didn't temp hot. So like they're just shitters, like look like they should be temping in like the 106, 107 range, and they temp right at normal, 101, 102. And So we're not treating them because, if they're not running a fever, they're not. It's not a bacterial infection, so the antibiotic ain't going to do any good anyhow. So yeah,
You
just
ever
kind
dealt with
of.
Canadian cattle?
Well, go ahead, Dakota. What were you going to say?
I was just going to ask you, have you ever been around that whisper deal? The stethoscope that goes on them?
No, I haven't.
So when I was in the yard, they came out with this new technology, I guess, and basically it's a stethoscope that hooks up to a computer, and when your calf is in the chute, you hold that stethoscope up against hit the record button, and the computer takes a recording of his breathing pattern. It'll give you a scale on just how sick he is.
And I've heard of that. I've never used it.
It's like a lung score deal.
Yeah,
it's the same as lung scoring.
Yeah, kind of neat.
Yeah. Well, I got a question here, Nick. We've got mostly 4 weights. They're averaging. I think they weighed them up down at Nogales, and they were averaging like 415, 420, something like that, and they're off trucks right around 380 probably. Really not too bad a shrink coming that. That's pretty good haul from Nogales up to here. But I've never used that whisper machine. I know they do like ultrasound on the lungs as well in some places, but it comes down to like the cost efficiency of it. Like it can tell you like to the detail, but a good cowboy can tell you as well like how sick they are. So I don't know. It's one of those things that sounds really cool, and if you're on a small scale, it probably save you money in the long run, but just slows like on a if you're trying to run 1,000 head a day. Good luck with.
Yeah. Well, the biggest headache we had with it was when they introduced that technology. All the old guys riding pins were like, "Fuck this! We don't know what we're doing. Just hit the button and let's go."
Yeah. Yeah, you got a bunch of people that don't know what they're doing, and they don't want to learn what they're doing either. That and that's
right.
Yeah.
Man, I'll be honest with you. I think that and Matt knows. I can't even. I just learned how to use a picture on Snapchat, so I'm not really tech savvy. But I do think that that we need to embrace technology to move forward in the cattle business.
I think it's a give and take.
I think it is too, but I think there's a and I think we're seeing it. You're seeing a lot of people. Whether they're doing like the direct to consumer or they're just trying to build up a brand name for their ranch. You're seeing a lot more people getting involved, particularly on Instagram. But then you got a lot of people, and what kind of bugs me is the people that bitch the hardest about the cattle market nowadays. But we talked about it a couple episodes back, but they also spend the least amount of money or time on actually marketing their cattle. They take them, either they sell them on the online auction or they take them to sale barn, and they get what they get, but they spend very little time actually marketing, and that's that's got to be a big part of it. If
well, you got the old school guys that don't spend enough time and don't try, and then you got the new school that are too reliant on technology to get it done. There's got to be a good medium right there to meet.
Yeah, I think so. And the biggest thing, like, they like the country of origin labeling is a big hot topic, and we could talk for hours on that alone. But the biggest thing is like if you market your product, especially with like the way the market's changing and people want to know where the food comes from. It's a perfect opportunity to not only market yourself, but market U.S. beef. And if it's that big of a deal for you that you have to have U.S. labeling on everything, if you market it, like people know this came from my ranch. My ranch is in the U.S. I buy all my cattle here in the U.S. This is a verified U.S. product, and I don't know. There's a lot of opportunity, I think, being missed on the technology deal, but also, yeah, like you said, there's got to be a give and take, a kind of a happy medium, and that's probably going to be different for everybody. But I don't know.
Well, here's another thing. Like, you got every county, I bet now, has one of these buy, sell, trade deals on the Facebook. If these guys market on there, how can you not find somebody in the area that's going to buy a half a beef or a whole beef, or find two people that go in on a half a beef? You deliver it and they come pick it up. They pay the butcher and then they pay you. I mean, you're winning right there. Why not use that opportunity? I mean, if you have the technology in front of you, let's use it.
So
I'm gonna piggyback on that. I get what you're saying. Okay, I totally agree. I get you there. But what do you do, like, on your big chain restaurants and grocery stores and stuff that needs to buy a big supply of beef? I mean, you can't have a grocery store just going on Facebook Marketplace and saying, who's got a cow for sale? It has to be like,
no, but you could set aside 10 head, 15 head to put on that marketplace deal.
Yeah.
And if they don't sell, then you push them back to the grocer.
Oh, I got you. All right. I'm fine.
Yeah, and
I'm not
so one thing we started doing here.
Big sale, but I'm saying let's put a little more to the local side of it. Let's support the local rancher. Let's support the local butcher. Set aside 10 head, 15 head, whatever you think is going to sell in your area.
Yeah.
Put them out, market them out there, and then say, hey, I'll even deliver them to the butcher. If you pay him and you pay me, we're good. You go pick
all you gotta do is go to the killer and pick him up.
Yeah, we're done.
Yeah. So there's a guy that said he took him.
You make a little money on the side with that. You're
right.
setting your price. You're not going off of whatever, let's say JBS is going to offer you,
which
piss
is
on
next
them for what they're going to give you.
Right. That's the biggest thing is, like there's a lot of bitching about the cattle prices, but you still sell them at those prices. I know there's limited markets, but like, if you're not trying to get around that, like, you ought to be. I mean, the price is there is what it is because we're still taking it. Like that's the thing.
Well, here's the deal.
Still taking it.
Around early March, when I started at this place I'm at now, which was early November, we were weighing every single pin that we shipped. So we'd go get a pin and we'd weigh them, and then we'd put them in the slants. We'd go get another pin and we'd weigh that pin, put them in the slants. So we had a weight on everything that went out. Well, about late February, maybe early March, they come to us and they said, hey, we don't need to weigh nothing anymore. If it's not a customer cattle, we don't need to weigh it. If it's a yard-owned cattle, count them by you, get me a head count, and put them in a slant. We're doing good enough on the cash prices that we don't need to weigh them no more. Well, what I heard a couple days ago is we're taking a hit on it, but we're still not weighing cattle. So it can't be that bad of a hit.
Yeah.
Hey, so going back to marketing small and marketing large, like what we're doing is, we're getting ready to ship cattle now, or calves, to the feed yard. And so we went through there and looked at, kind of genetics, so to speak, of high marbling calves and stuff like that off of previous ultrasounds we've done off sires and dams and all that stuff. And so we've pulled those select few out along with, you know, quite a few more. And so what we're doing is we advertise, you know, we'll sell to one person, quarter, half, or whole, or whatever, like you were talking about, Kayne. But then also going back to like Dakota, what you were saying about restaurants and stuff. So one of the butchers that we use is trying to get, you know, a label for like really high-end restaurants. You know, stuff that funny. Right. I can work the cows here, but I can't go buy a steak at that restaurant, you know, but
yeah,
whatever. But and so if that happens, then to support more, you know, locally or whatever, then if a pool of ranchers, and I'm not saying whatever, if every ranch can do it individually as long as they, you know, have good enough stock, go through that butcher. That way they can be sold at those high-end restaurants if they make a good enough carcass. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. And so, and then your stuff that doesn't get, that's not the top line stuff, then you can ship them to get fed later on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like you've got multiple, you know, avenues for local stuff.
Yeah. If you got a decent enough, you know, butcher meat market, so to speak, he can butcher it and then market it a little better for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we had a comment here a little bit ago. Nick Schilling, he's up in Nebraska as well. I don't know if you guys are familiar with each other, but he said it took him 10 minutes to sell 70 pounds of hamburger on Facebook the other day. And about 2 weeks ago, he said, and local demand is, you know, through the roof, but trying to find spots at the local processors is, most of them are booked out until January, which that's a problem. And that kind of gets to the heart of the whole cattle business problem is there's not enough processors, and a lot of it has to do with regulation. So get behind the primary that is put forward by Thomas Massey. It's in, you know, their, I don't know if it's in committee or what it is right now, but call your reps, tell them to get behind that. The regulations on the local processors, they can start to pick up some of this backlog of the fat cattle that the big plants aren't pushing through right now because of, you know, the corona or whatever, you know. But this it opens up the local economy. And I think a lot, you know, and there's been some comments, you know, there's very few people that can pay for a quarter or a half or a full beef. And that's true. A lot of people don't have the freezer space. But one thing that we've learned through this whole coronavirus deal is that the supply chain's pretty goddamn fragile. And if we want to get around that, we've got to get more local. We can't rely on 4 big companies to push through all of our beef. We got to get these local regional guys involved into it. Lift up some of the red tape on them. We can start selling cattle to them. That opens up the cash trade. That helps the formula guys. That helps the live cattle market in general. So
let's
call
dive
your
into
reps
that a little deeper.
Yeah, go for it.
Them smaller outfits maybe don't think that they can butcher as many until January because, you know, let's just say they're booked up till January. Well, what if them big packers come back and they lose half of their, you know, half of what they got on their books? Well, yeah. If we can guarantee them spots, maybe they can hire another guy or two, and they can speed up a little bit.
Well, and even so, when those big guys
give them guaranteed production, then they can pick up their speed a little bit, maybe.
That's true, and also when those big guys open back up to full speed, full capacity.
Who's to say that them local guys ain't going to lose their business again? That's maybe what they're looking at.
I don't know if that's the case. I think what if you get these local guys up and running where they can take in as many cattle as they can. When the big guys get back up and running, they're going to have to compete for cattle, and so what are they going to do? They're going to go bid cash price to fill out their shift kill. And that gives you more cattle on the cash market. It gives you, it's just going to drive demand, and that's going to drive your live cattle price up. So I don't know. I get the arguments for like MCool. I get the arguments for the 3014 proposal that Corbett Wall's been putting out. I stop short of getting behind any government mandate, because the government can fuck up a wet dream. So
you're saying that you're required to wear a mask anytime you're out in public.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So case in point, I shared an article for Beef Magazine, and all the RCAF guys can get mad because the Beef Magazine's NCBA affiliate, whatever. It was a good article. It's a bill that's introduced by our favorite Native American princess, old Lizzie Paleface, and Cory Booker. They introduced this bill, which they claim is going to help the family farmer. But also in this bill, it's going to phase out CAFO operations, feedlots, large-scale hog farms, poultry farms, all that. Going to phase it out by 2040, and so you'll not be able to have more than 700 head in a confined feeding area. So this is the type of shit you open yourself up to when you ask the government to get involved. That they might throw that 3014 proposal in there to get rancher support, but at the same time, they're going to outlaw a feedlot over the size of 700 head by 2040. So is that 3014 deal worth it then? Fuck no, it's not. So that's the type of thing you get when you ask the government to step in and regulate shit. But if you like this Prime Act, you're not adding any new regulations. You're repealing a whole bunch of them for the small and local guys. The big packers, they don't mind those regulations because they got the funds and the means and the will to fight them. The small guy can't fight that. They can't comply, and they go out of business, or they stay just small enough to where they skirt those regulations and they don't make much of a living. You take those off, it opens them up. Maybe they can expand. And I don't know. I think it's a better solution in my view than having the government mandate. You have to do this, you have to do that. Anytime you're asking the government to step in, you're treading on shaky ground.
You look at everything the government has ever been involved in, they're real quick to step in.
Oh yeah.
They are slow as shit to step out.
Period. And they won't step all the way out either. That's the thing. They'll step in all the way, and they'll step out maybe 3/8 of the way. But but it's for your own good, don't you know?
Yeah. But
yeah,
our state governors. I mean, thank God I live in a blue state. So happy to be here. She released a public service address or whatever yesterday at 4:00, and holy shit, I've seen smaller loads of bullshit go out of a feedlot in a fucking dump truck. I mean, just holy shit. And very gray, and that's her deal, is speaking in very gray terms. And just, I mean, fucking Hitler-esque, just horrible. But
yeah, it's it's the same everywhere. Like Nevada's the same way. We got a dipshit just liberal asshole governor that's gonna follow whatever Gavin Newsom does in California. You've got the mayor of Las Vegas, who's no conservative hero, is trying to open shit up, and then they're just like, no, we can't do that. We can't do that. And like, well, the entire state economy, and I mean the state, I mean not the state as a whole, but like the state government is funded almost entirely off of gaming taxes. The casinos ain't open. The state government ain't making any fucking money.
Right.
And yeah, they're just like, no, we can't open yet. It's not safe. Not safe. Well, let the casinos decide for themselves if it's safe.
Right.
And I don't know. It's just it's a fucking train wreck.
Let's look at that COVID deal right quick. And let's say them 5 or 6 states that don't have the lockdown rule have
Like
the
South
lowest
Dakota.
cases of it.
Mm-hmm. South
Yeah.
Dakota, Wyoming. Yeah,
Why don't
Wyoming's had 1 death, I think.
Yeah.
Granted, there's like 3 people that live there.
Why didn't we just do the herd immunity deal like we do with cattle? Let them all catch it. Let them all get over it. Within 2 weeks, we're done with the shit. Why are we dragging it out for 10 fucking months?
Well,
You gotta flatten
so
the curve, bro.
That's the government work right there.
Well, all right. Let's go with that frame of mind. So let's just say we're in one big feedlot pen, every one of us, and somebody gets sick. How would you say, hey, we're gonna take you in this place and doctor the shit out of you? Like, that's getting in on human rights there. Like, how do you mandate that somebody has to be cured? That's kind of up to them. Like, live or die, that's your choice. So
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with your theory there, but I mean, I guess I don't know. Just spitballing it around, I guess.
I mean, yeah, that's a case to case deal, but looking at it from a feed yard perspective, 99% of what's on every yard is on the younger side.
Right.
You might shift 1% a month, maybe, right? So let them catch it one time, doctor them one time, and see what happens.
Yeah, I think the only problem
on this COVID deal, why are we drawing it out for so long? I can understand worrying about the community. I'm not taking nothing away from that. But to an extent, to shut the entire world down over a deal like this is absolutely ridiculous to me.
Yeah, and now looking at the other.
If you're that worried about catching it, then don't go out. But let the rest of us do what we do.
Yeah.
Why are you making it an essential versus non-essential deal instead of saying, if you're worried about catching it, if you're one of those people that is more prone to catching it, them elderly folks, the younger kids, the people that have something going against them where if they catch it, they're going to be in a worse deal than, the normal people that don't have any underlying health defects.
Right.
Why are you
I definitely follow you there.
Why are you making us sit back and watch the whole world pass us by for 6 months while y'all try to figure out what the heck you're doing versus, stay inside if you're one of those that could be severely affected by it.
Right.
Yeah,
no,
I
definitely
understand
follow
that,
you there.
man. But looking at the flip side, and I do agree. Like, if you think you can go out, man, go out. Like, I do understand people's individual rights, but now looking at a whole, we can't get the Hitler mindset either of, hey, it's this way or not.
Right.
And we have to realize that looking at it on a cattle perspective, humans, we're not a commodity. So
Good
then,
point. Good
so
point.
then,
well, to the government we are.
I don't.
Because they're making money on us, aren't they?
Better.
Well,
point.
you're not even.
How are
You're
they
not even a
looking at it that way?
commodity to the government. You're just a number.
Yeah.
We're a commodity because they're
last
making-
4 of your
they're making-
social note.
They're making a part of what we're making. So we technically are a commodity to them. They're
Well,
making money off of us.
So now going back
OJ.
to the bureaucratic process, that's nobody's fault but the people that vote or the people that don't vote, because we're the ones that put them in that office.
Yeah,
Very true. And I'm not taking away from that. I'm just saying, like, a portion of my yearly income comes from me being able to go out and rodeo. And with all this deal right now, I can't go out and ride bucking horses because nobody's bucking horses.
Right.
There's
So, they're taking a little bit out of my pocket right now. So, of course, I'm going to be a little sore about it.
And I understand that. And when it goes back to your rights as a human being, your pursuit of happiness, I don't see them being able to say no, but I think that COVID-19 got tremendously
blown out of proportion.
But
oh yeah,
at the same time, in huge populated areas, I see where it could be a pandemic. You know what I'm saying? Right. But the problem is,
I'm not taking away from that. I'm saying, then if it's that big of a deal, but it's only hitting certain portions of the population, let's just say, if you're worried about it, you stay home. If you're not worried about it,
they can't do that though, because then that gives you free will and choice. So they can't allow that. You have to do as they say, otherwise the whole system collapses.
Right. If it pleases the crown.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, I don't want to take away from it because, granted, people are dying, and that sucks. It sucks for everybody. But people die of shit all the time. You have to look at the statistics on it and make a decision. Okay, am I willing to live my life, or should I, quote unquote, shelter in place against it?
Right.
If you really look at go ahead.
Is if you're not wearing N95 mask, the other shit doesn't help.
Exactly.
I see all these people in town wearing masks, and I just want to say there's no difference between wearing what you have and wearing what I have, and I'm wearing nothing.
I shared a meme yesterday that said, if a fart can make it through 2 layers of clothing and one of them being denim jeans, how comfortable do you feel wearing your cotton mask?
And another thing is it's just, all right. So looking at it from, I'm not going to go back to the cattle but so if you have a proper mask on and it is fitted properly, what happens when you touch something at the store, touch yourself, come home, now it's in your home.
Don't be talking about me touching myself.
Oh, that's
a private moment.
This is also coming from the guy with no pants on, sitting in his recliner. But
you got person number 1 in the grocery store. He walks up to the counter. He touches the pen pad. Person number 2 is 6 feet behind him. Person number 1 leaves. Person number 2 steps up 6 feet, touches the same pen pad.
They're both wearing masks, right?
Yeah. They're both wearing masks.
But what do you do when you get in your car?
And if you're going by the law of averages, they're both going home and touching themselves, and who knows what's going on then. Oh, we can't get through any episode without a. we can't go through a full bull session without a good dick joke in there. So, no, it's I think everybody's tired of this goddamn thing, and I think everybody's kind of tired of talking about it. So I'd say go live your life, and yeah.
All right, let's change the subject. Matt, you said you name all your horses after Lonesome Dove, right?
Most of them, yeah.
Anybody else got any weird quirks about how they name their ponies?
Fuck, mine's all over the fucking map. Sometimes it's off of a registered name, but sometimes it's just some weird word that jumps in my head and it just sticks. I named one Bosco because I saw some old chocolate ad from like the 50s. And I was like, oh, that's kind of a cool name, Bosco. You know, it just there it went. But
my dad had a horse named Bosworth. I don't know exactly where he came from. That was a good horse too, old Bos.
Yeah.
But I've got my Mustang mare. When I'm not calling her a wretched cunt or something along those lines.
Just sell her
official,
to me, Matt. Just sell her to me.
Yeah, she is for sale. You can have it. But her name is Red Molly because she's a red dun. And that's I forget who actually wrote that song, but Reckless Kelly does a hell of a good rendition of it. It's called 1972 Vincent Black Lightning. It's a great song.
Yeah, boy.
Main character's Red Molly, so that's Red Molly, and she also kind of acts like a mule, and female mule's called a Molly, so it fits her pretty good. But most everything else is Lonesome Dove characters.
Yeah,
I got a really original one, man. That big feather-footed horse I'm talking about. I named him after his head. His name's Jughead, and you can't get a regular headstall to fit that son of a bitch either.
Yeah, I bet I got 5 in my pickup that'll fit him.
Yeah,
because they don't fit nothing I got. They don't go small enough.
You can just tie knots on the backside of it. It'll work.
Yeah, I'm pretty short of horses right now. I've only got I've only got 4 in my string, which is like that's cutting it close. But you got the Stoner, Pep Step, Sunshine, and Gray, who happens to be a dun. So go figure that.
I like it. Go get my gray horse. I don't see a gray horse.
Are named after songs. The last
there you go
3 that I've had have been Fancy, Jolene, and Roxanne.
Nice.
Oh my
you don't have to put on the red light.
You bet. All my Gildens are named after
unpopular opinion. Nice. Unpopular opinion here, but as much of a train wreck as Miley Cyrus is, she can fucking wail on Jolene. That is one of the best covers out there is when Miley Cyrus covers Jolene.
No,
that chick has got some pipes.
Have you heard the two petite version or the one where she sang in the subway with what's his face, the late night guy,
Jimmy Fallon?
No,
Jimmy Fallon. There you go, nailed it.
No, this one was on. It was on a late night show. She was just up there by herself. Is the one I'm thinking of. But either way, that she's a train wreck, but she can fucking wail.
Hey,
it's
Matt.
a little different take on it, but look up the Cooper Chief version of Jolene.
Okay.
Matt, are you on your cell phone?
No, I'm on my computer.
Hey, text me Jolene Miley Cyrus.
Okay, I'll see if I can find it. It's probably on YouTube. But, she's a train wreck, but she can fucking sing.
Hey, I picked up a pup the other day and named that little Gyp Cocaine Katie.
Nice.
On the name front on ponies, I've got a black gelding right now. His name is John Coffey.
Yeah.
Not Nightlinger.
And then I've got a red roan. His name is Ace Ventura. And I had
John Coffey.
Please tell me
back at you at the end of a long day and say, "I'm just real tired, boss."
He does that. I rode him 2 days in a row gathering pastures, and today he was dragging ass. So I imagined he just said, "Boss, I'm real tired." And then I had me a little dun Mustang. Little dun Mustang. I bet you he didn't stand 13 hands tall.
Yeah.
I look like I'm 6 foot tall and I look like a damn giant riding this sumbitch. Yeah. Because I could literally
like old Dakota and his
if he didn't do what I wanted him to do, height. I could kick him in the back of the knee and fold him up. If he didn't do what I asked him to do, he was so little. And I called him Rooster Cogburn.
Nice.
The worst was when me and all of my 6'4" glory was making a living riding cutting horses. Like, you're talking about stuff that's like just a fucking deck of cards over 14 hands. I looked
Put
like
him
I
in
was riding a
six-wheel
fucking
drive and go.
tricycle. Like it's just like knees up by my ears all the time. That's all it was.
You look like you were a jockey. OJ, everybody knows about Miley Cyrus. I don't want to hear any lip up.
Nobody
that guy.
gives a
Whatever.
shit about Miley Cyrus.
Go listen to that song and tell me I'm wrong. The chick can wail. Yes, I know she's a train wreck and kind of a terrible human being in general, but she does that song justice. Anyhow,
Don't put your wiener in.
Hey,
no,
speaking about cutting
I
horses,
wouldn't mind it, but it'd probably melt.
Don't.
It would probably melt.
God says don't.
Dissolve on contact.
So my buddy, speaking about cutting horses, Dakota, my buddy showed up at the Brandon, and man, he's got a badass mare, man. I don't know anything about her. Like I can just tell you, she's pretty badass. And so, we got done stripping everything, and he went in there with the calves, just playing around. We were going to kind of take a break before we got started.
Yeah,
man, he shucked that headstall off, and this bitch was bad.
Yeah,
and I was like, yeah, he's riding that, and I'm riding that feather-footed sucker, and I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna be over here if you need me.
I'm just here for decoration.
I'll turn sideways and block the gate.
Yeah, it's okay. If we need something to take a hook in, use this horse.
Yeah. There's some days I really miss riding like good cutting horses. I mean, jam up ones, But
and I'm supposed to have I think it's the own son of Freckles Playboy, bred to a pretty bad reining mare.
Yeah, nice.
She sold for like 40,000, I think, maybe 38 or 40,000, and which is stupid big money here in the East or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I'm hoping that mare took, man. I can't wait to see what happens there.
Oh, he bred her?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right on.
There's a guy, man, and I've been seeing him around town, and so he stopped me one day and he's like, hey, you interested in a little side work? I said, that's how I make my living.
You bet.
And he's like, well, I need some help breeding some mares. My wife doesn't really like, and this stud horse listens. I mean, he probably acts just as good as my old gelding does, man. He is top notch.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, man, I'll come help you. No problem. He's like, well, you just got to worry about the mares. And I was like, all right, cool. I'll do it. I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, it's literally like 5 miles up the road.
Right.
And so I went over there and I helped him for a few weeks, man. And then he went to see his son in Texas there this week. So I ran over there and brought one of his geldings and mare up and kicked the stud out or whatever, let him leg up or get some running room, and just helping the guy out, man. He just he told me that I could have that colt that she has, and man, I couldn't get any more luckier than that, really.
Right.
It'll be better bred than anything I've ever owned anyway.
Right.
Oh yeah.
I hear you.
So Nick, go ahead. I was we got a comment that kind of made me laugh. I thought y'all would enjoy it, but
that mare I called Fancy,
go ahead and
she was probably a running bred mare. She was thoroughbred looking, probably stood a damn near 16 hands if she didn't stand 16 hands. And when I got her, I rode her like 2 or 3 times at the house. And I was like, yeah, you'll be all right to go to the yard. And I was working there in Kansas at the time, and took her to the yard. And goddamn, I couldn't even open a gate on this mare. And I hadn't had a name for her yet. And it was about the second or third day I was riding her. I rode her for like 2 or 3 weeks. I'd go clock out and I'd come back up to the barn and I would ride her out and I'd just go work gates because I could not work a gate. She would get to it and then she'd face it. She wouldn't turn sideways so you could get the gate rod, nothing. Right. So I'd spend my extra time just making her work for the yard. And when I finally got her kind of working a gate, shoot, I'd start riding her at work. Well, the first day that I actually rode her to ride pins, I rode her out and I was like halfway through the day. And I had my radio on my phone going on my Spotify, and Reba's Fancy come on. And we were like halfway through the song, and I'm riding through a pin, and I kind of bust through a little group, and one turned and went to run off and bumped her. And she kind of just humped up a little bit, halfway crow, like half crow hop. I mean, not even enough to buck a 2-year-old kid off.
Yeah.
So as she was doing this, I was singing along. I said, "Fancy, don't buck me down." And that's kind of how it got the name.
See, and that's how that shit happens. It just comes out of nowhere. Like,
But
I wished I would have. I'll go ahead.
After
Go ahead.
60 days of riding that mare, I had a kid, the cow boss at that yard. He won the world in the cutting on an Appy, in the Appy cutting in 2010. And he was telling some folks that this mare would get down and work one in ways that a 16-hand horse should not be getting down and working one.
right.
I mean, I had her fucking working.
Yeah.
I'd track her back to a corner on one. I'd just mess with her, and I'd pull a healthy one down, one that kind of pick his head up and want to get down.
Yeah.
And I'd drive him to the back of the pen, and I'd just drop the rein, and I'd kind of let her go a little bit. I'd work her a little bit, but I mean, she'd sink down there and hop side to side, and I mean, drive forward, and snap one back, and get around. I've never had a horse that big work like that.
I love that first time you get them. Yeah, that first time you get them to roll back. When they're working a cow, like when you get them to just plant, roll back, and that when they finally like tie that together, that's such a cool feeling.
But I'll tell you, it's a
when you
complete different feeling on a 14-hand horse than it is on a 16-hand horse.
Oh yeah. When you get one of the big
that
suckers
level
to get
and
down,
then just swap directions and go with it. Oh,
I
that's
don't care who you are. The very first time you get on a really good horse and you feel them drop on their belly and really go to work in a cow.
Yeah.
And
It's the
you're not
equivalent of
touching
losing your virginity. I mean, you never forget the feeling, put it that way.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Matt, you remember I was snapping you guys and I left that
it's
cutting barn
different
at
when
one
you're
time?
doing this, and it's different when you drop your hand and just let them fight it out. It's a different feeling.
And the drop, like on a 14-hand cutter, that's one thing. The drop on a 16-hand horse that'll drop down and cut, it's like when you're at Six Flags and you get on the roller coaster and it's just, whoo!
It's
a different feeling.
Yeah. What were you saying, Thad?
Go ahead.
You remember when I was going over and helping that guy and I left that barn after riding that horse that first time and I was snapping you guys?
Yeah.
Man, like you said, Dakota, I don't know a better feeling really, man. Like, man, it's awesome. I remember I went over there, I was helping him breed those mares and I was about to leave. He's like, "Hey man, because I've never rode cutting horses, like never." And he's like, "Hey, you wanna ride?" I was like, "No shit." And he's like, "Yeah." I was like, "All right, man. Yeah, I'd love to." He's like, "We'll get this old gelding out, warm him up, and just play around with him." I said, "All right, cool." And man, so he showed me what to do, and I went to go get on the horse, and I was like, "Should I hold on?" And he was like, "Yeah, I probably would."
Yeah.
And man, I'm telling you, I'm glad I did. I'd probably fall off like a fat chick, but didn't. But
before I went to work for my first cutter, I thought I could ride a horse. I really did. I thought I could stick one. And I went to work for a NCHA for surety champ and, riding 2-year-olds and loping horses and whatnot. And the first time I felt one of those really broke bastards get down and move, holy shit. I was itching and scratching for everything I could lay hands on to stay aboard that son of a bitch. I mean, he is getting it, and I could not believe it. I had no idea a horse could move like that. No clue.
Yeah, I didn't
Well,
either, man.
to be fair, Dakota, you're a little top heavy, you know.
Hey, I may be
6'4" and whatnot.
but I only weigh 170, so.
I know what
yeah,
you're saying because
we had that dummy going at like, I think he said 30% or whatever. You know what I'm talking about? Like calfdom.
Yeah.
And
the dummy is a flag.
Well, the flag looks like a dummy. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, I follow you.
Yeah, I don't know what those are called. I guess they're still called flags, right? Even though they got a calf on there.
Yeah. You might as well just call it a flag.
Okay. We were working that, and so at the end, he really started, really letting that horse show me how much I didn't know how to ride. And and I got off, man. I was like, golly, this is so cool, man. And he's like, yeah, that was 30%. You keep coming over here, we'll get you all up to 90 or so. And I was like, that was 30%.
Hey, another yellow belly in the house there.
You bet.
Always got a saddle of buckskin. Always.
The buckskins are good. They're my go-to. This comment that I had, I thought you guys would enjoy it. Nick, also, I don't have one of his Hondas here, but the guy that makes the braided Hondas, Nick Allen Lute, he says, if you did stick it in Miley Cyrus and your wiener didn't melt, you will really wish it did the first time you take a leak.
That, Nick. Screw that.
That's 100% right, but
Micatilla
might be worth it. You never know. Yeah. little LA and Dex combo. It'll cure it right up.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, fuck it. Just go deep and go Micatilla.
Let's go down this rabbit hole. What's your favorite hangover cures as far as bovine medicine? Are you an LA guy or a Banamine?
Orange juice and Banamine?
Yeah, you got to have something to cover up that taste of Banamine.
Actually, you know what? Don't tell nobody I told you this because the yard will frown upon it. But if you see Draxxin in your coffee, you'd be all right.
Whoa, what? What?
Draxxin, huh?
A cc of Draxxin in your coffee and you'll be just fine.
Dude.
Nope.
No way. No way.
Oh, so CC of Draxxin costs about $3.50 about.
That's what I'm saying. Don't tell the yard about it.
That's about
I'm just saying
$5 too much.
I'm just saying like a 32-ounce Gatorade costs $1.50 and it'd probably do just as much as Draxxin.
Try. You'd be surprised.
Man, if I was that hard up, I'd just go to the vet and get an IV.
Bingo.
Lactated ringer.
There's been a few times at the yard that I've been a little farther than I wanted to be coming into work, and I decided one day I'd try it.
He said Kayne's liver probably just twitched when he said Draxxin.
I have one of them. I got one of them.
I don't know if I can ever willingly ingest Draxxin.
Like, are you being dead serious or are you being funny here?
No, I'm being dead serious.
Hey,
I got a blackleg shot yesterday, but
that blackleg shot burns like a sumbitch, don't it?
Yeah, it sure freaking does. Holy smoke!
I better be immune from blackleg. That's all I know. I've been injected so many times with Ultrabac 7 or 8. Doesn't matter which one. It's all the same.
Yeah,
shit, but
I've been the past 2 years. I think I'm cured.
Yeah, I've had plenty of boosters. I ought to be immune. If not, I'm suing somebody. I don't know who yet. But.
Hey, Dakota.
Banamine and coffee's kind of my go-to, but
I want you to try that Draxxin tomorrow and holler at me and let me know if it works.
Dude, no way. No way.
I'm not either, man.
Hey, you can't be a puss your whole life.
Dude.
Well, I was
Pussies
thinking the
don't
other
make
day
heroes.
when
Pussies don't make
when
heroes.
this whole COVID deal started going down and like shit got real scary there for a little bit.
Yes, sir.
I opened the fridge and in the door you've got all the different condiments and shit, and I had roughly 350 cc's of penicillin, and I thought I might be a rich man if the apocalypse actually is here, because the old bovine penicillin works just the same as human penicillin, and I've got a fuckload of it right now. So
if you
you
shoot about 5 cc of penicillin down, you throw it every time you're feeling sick, you don't get sick.
Dude, Kayne, you're like on a different level with these cow heads than I am.
Thank you.
Yeah,
well, you know what?
We opened a can of worms here.
Here's the deal.
Like a freaking baller when I just like
outfits where
squirt just like a little bit of Banamine and some orange juice. I'm like, oh yeah, just
you see Kayne tied off like a heroin junkie, just getting ready for my Banamine.
Kayne's gonna be drawing out Microtil from a spoon tomorrow, put it in a syringe.
I'm not naming any names, but I may have done some butte in my life too.
I can see that. I never doubted that.
Nick says when Kayne dies, we ought to post him necropsy style.
You bet.
lay him open, see what his liver looks like.
97%, I bet. That's fucking chronic.
I can't get over it. Draxxin and cough. I'm not doing that. I'll just stay hungover.
You can't be scared your whole life
right now.
You can't be scared your whole life. You got to try new things every now and then.
So do you have to wean yourself off of Draxxin? Is it kind of like heroin?
I don't know. I've never consistently done it. It's just been like I've done it twice, and I mean it worked.
Are we talking about Draxxin or heroin?
He's got that black tar Draxxin.
In the eyeball. If you're gonna go black tar, you got to go in the eyeball.
Holy smoke!
I'm nowhere close to the same level as you, bro.
This is not a USDA FDA recommended treatment.
It's acceptable.
Holy smokes!
Hey, I got a question for you.
For who?
When you're on your bronc and you come out, that's not baby powder flying everywhere, is it?
No.
Oh
no! That was my baggie. It broke.
I bet you could do a line down a damn 24-foot. You know it?
Hey,
little
the
bit of yayo.
hey, but the pony is white.
I've never touched that stuff though. I'll do some cow drugs. I'll do some cow drugs, but that other stuff I won't touch.
So have you experimented with Dermosadan?
No.
That's when you're too far gone. When Kayne's squirting some Dermosadan in his coffee, that's when we need to have an intervention. We'll do a Zoom intervention.
I don't know.
What's the one that starts with an R?
Romp'em.
Romp'em?
Yeah, no, there's another one. What is it?
Cow drug or a horse drug?
It's horse drug. Starts with an R, but it's not Romp'em.
Romp'em's the only one I know.
That's the only one I know.
You're not mainlining rhinovirus vaccine, are you? Because that's probably not good.
Hey, hush your mouth now. Don't be telling all my secrets on the third episode.
All right, well, we'll wait till the next one, and that'll be a pay-per-view to get all.
You say next one, but from what I'm hearing, it may be any day for him now.
True.
He's gonna have one cup of coffee too much for that Draxxin.
Once he delves into the Micatil, like it's downhill. Downhill pretty quick, from what I understand. I don't know. Anybody know anybody that's ever been killed by Micatil? I hear war stories about it, but I've never heard of anybody like.
That's on the same level as you hear all these guys talking about cutting ropes at Brandon's, but it never actually happened.
I have seen a rope cut at a Brandon one time, but it was a sure enough wreck. I mean, a rope needed cut, and the guy was a dipshit and got real hot because his rope got cut. It was a brand new rope. Well, don't be a dipshit and get in a wreck and you don't get your rope cut. But
Amen.
I've heard I've heard a ton of stories about that, but that was the only one I've ever seen.
Right.
And you hear those stories about the Micatil deaths. I've never heard any like eyewitnesses or people
I've
that
heard
know
tell of guys getting poked by a Micatil needle, but I've never heard of anybody dying from it.
I've been poked by a Micatil needle before. I've had Micatil on my fingers, and when I took a dip, it tastes like dog shit. I mean, it's not a good taste, but I never felt funny or anything.
Yeah.
Speaking about taste, am I the only one that thinks Banamine tastes like straight up kerosene?
No, it sucks. It sucks. It works, but it sucks.
I mean,
I don't know if it's true or not, but I heard that when they first came out with Micatil, with your, shipment of medicine, whatever, they would send you a pair of special gloves to handle it with, so you wouldn't accidentally poke yourself.
Really?
I don't know if that's true or not. Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised. I know they make special syringes, like the automatic syringes.
Yeah.
It's got like a shroud, so you've got to push, and then I think you have to turn it like a quarter turn or something like that, and then the needle will come out.
No, you just got to push on. You got to push half an inch, and then the needle will poke out. But it only pokes out like half inch, maybe.
See, I've never even seen one of those.
Yeah, they the Micatil reps will come around every now and then. They'll give you some of those, but I've never used one.
We used them at a yard I worked in Gothenburg.
Oh,
and they ain't worth a shit.
That's what I've heard. I've heard that they're terrible.
Push on that sumbitch to get the needle out, that whole shroud breaks, and then and then it's worthless.
Huh?
Did you do that sober of mind or high on Draxxin? You might have had that high strength.
Both.
he was hallucinating on Norfinical.
No, that was Resflor.
Resflor. That makes more sense. You got the Banamine in there for the psychedelic powers.
You bet.
Oh fuck.
Hey, has anybody tried peyote?
No, I've not.
Man,
I feel like that.
Did you run across some or what?
No, I'm trying to run across some. So if there's any daylight burning people out there,
and that also burns some peyote.
What was in that coffee?
What?
Draxxin.
Hell no. No.
He's drinking some of that Joe Rogan mushroom coffee, but he wants the good stuff. He wants peyote.
I mean, I just always thought it'd be cool, like running around with a shotgun and chasing big chicken.
You want to drink some peyote, but you're scared of Draxxin?
Yeah,
right. That's what I think.
A single
Peyote's
CC
natural.
Draxxin.
Yeah, peyote is natural.
That's like saying cocaine is natural,
right?
Well, it is.
I mean,
kinda.
I'm not arguing. That's a true statement. I guess.
Nick says that let us know how that chicken looks.
He's tall as Dakota.
It'd be like the Family Guy, the giant chicken.
Yeah,
that Peter
exactly.
Fights.
Yeah.
You see Thad just like rolling around in his front yard, and he's screaming at a chicken, but there's nothing there.
I'm kind of excited now. I can't wait. I gotta find it.
Perfect. Well, let's end it on a high note there. High. All right, boys. Where can everybody find you if you want them to find you on Facebook or Instagram or all that good shit?
Go ahead, Thad.
No, Kayne, go ahead.
I just got the Facebook. Find me at Kayne Boswell. I don't know how that works.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say something
Kind
about
of
that.
spelled
You got to get
like
an Instagram.
Kanye.
I don't know. I've never really been interested in it. I ain't got time for it.
Instagram's better than Facebook, man.
I'll agree with that.
How so?
It's debatable.
Way easier.
It is easier.
Is it because you like picture books better?
Yeah.
You say it like it's a bad thing.
Yeah, I don't. That was,
no,
yes.
I'm not saying. I'm asking a question.
Why do you gotta be so judgmental, Kanye?
I like picture books. I'm not saying nothing wrong about it. I like picture books.
I'm gonna let you finish, but that was the best picture book ever.
All right, so Kayne Boswell on Facebook. Thad, you're what are you at Thad Payton?
On what?
Instagram.
No, I think it's Thaddeus Payton.
Thaddeus Payton.
You think?
And we got big timer up here.
Hey, it's Dakota Robinson on Facebook, Dakota Robinson Official on Instagram. Not because I'm a douchebag. I'm just holding on to that title so I can sell it to somebody else later.
Because he's the
what
big
do you want
timer.
for that title?
And hey, you bring me 3 beef and bean burritos from Allsup's, we'll talk.
I'll send you a package.
That's a hell of a deal.
That's a hell of a deal.
Hell of a deal. All right. Well, I'm Matt McKinley on Facebook, at MickerMac85 on the rest of them. Move Your Ass on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Burning Daylight, Facebook. You guys know all that. Fellas, it's been a great time. Always a good time. Daylight burners, don't let your butt crack, and move your ass. We're burning daylight. Before we leave, Robbie's a douche. Robbie is a douche. Later.
Adios,
We're out, fellas.